What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and I'm going to synthesize really, uh, a really nice pair of boots. I'm starting to work on my Archmage. I kind of just left it alone since like really early in the game. So I'm kind of coming back and doing stuff. So synthesis was a long time ago, and it used to work very differently. Uh, Basically, you would take and you would put together multiple items with fractures on them, and then you'd combine them and you'd wind up getting a top. Now it seems like it's kind of just well, it is basically, it just gives random synthesized implicits. It can't be used on uniques, and it replaces implicit modifiers that are already on there. So if you have something like these gloves, you might want to be like, do I want to risk losing 16% spell damage to gain, random synthesized modifiers? What I'm going to be using them on are my sorcerer's boots. These are like really nice. The estimate on these is like as is like 15 to 20 exalts. Um, but there's really nothing left for me to do to them besides synthesizing, and synthesizing can only make them better at this point. Well, I can add quality, but I can still do that after I synthesize them. Um, so this is it right here. This is not fracturing. Fracturing is something completely different. Um, Fracturing is something completely different. Fracturing used to be what you would do to items, and then you would combine three of them, and you get a synthesis mod. Um, So this is completely different. Now it's just basically like adding random implicit modifiers on it. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. I'm really hoping that this turns out well. Okay, so I got three things on it, which is pretty cool. It doesn't really, I mean, honestly, the stats don't really help me. Um, chance to avoid bleeding, I guess. Chance to avoid being shocked, and 9 to 10 cold resistance. I mean, it makes it cooler. I didn't have anything there, so they were, my friend's never seen this synthesis, um, so it just made the item better. Like, it could have wound up worse, it could have wound up better. What I really wanted was, like, intelligence, energy shield, mana. That's what I was really looking for, but, I mean, I'll take it as a win. It's 10%, extra cold resistance, which you can divine these. I got three mods, which, a lot of them you can wind up with just, one thing. So there's a lot of random stuff you can get on here. I kind of also just wanted, obviously I'm an archmage. I wanted mana, energy shield, and intelligence, but this is pretty cool. It makes my item a lot cooler. Um, so you know, I'm happy with this. But that's kind of the reasons why on an item like this you might want to consider, do I really want to take and do that to something like this, because I could lose that 16% spell damage that's already an implicit modifier. If I wanted to create a synthesized item for my gloves, for instance, um, so those, if you wanted to create a synthesized pair of gloves, what you would want to do is you would want to start off with like sorcerer's gloves, because they don't have the implicit modifier. The thing that you might honestly want to do is take and synthesize before you craft the item. So like if you have a lot of synthesis modifiers and you're looking for specific stuff, like obviously I can't do that with these because I already have, like you know absolutely what I want, best in slot stuff, tier 1. The only thing I could get is I could get a better dual mod defense, but if you play the Archmage, you understand why the dual mod is something that I go for on my items for that stun and block recovery. It's a really big deal. Instead of just having the flat energy shield, which, like, I've got 10,355 energy shield, and I get arcane cloak shields for like 8k. So, I've got like, yeah, my average cloak's like 6 to 8k, so like 16 to 18,000 effective HP when I get hit. Um, and that's not counting my damage reduction. So I already have a ton of energy shield. So the stun and block recovery is a lot more important because, like, if you played Archmage, you get stream attacks. Anyways, this is cool. There's not a lot of stuff that you're going to want to do it on because, like, if I were to do that on this belt, that would really screw me because I'd be losing 96 max energy shield, and, I ain't going to wind up with synth mods that are going to replace 96 energy shield. So that would be something that I would definitely not want to wind up synthesizing, and that's kind of why I made this video. One was my buddy didn't know what the new synthesizing was. So I figured I'd put out a video to let people know, but the major warning in this is don't do it on items that have implicit modifiers that you want to keep, because it deletes them and then you wind up with random stuff. And I've had synth mods that are like seven intelligence or something like that, like 6 to 7 intelligence. There's really good ones, like, weapons can get +1 to gems, like, you can get plus physical damage. You can get a bunch of good stuff, but if you already have something good on the item, you don't want to risk that for just a complete crapshoot. What you want to do if you plan to use a synthesized item is start off with a stronger base. Like, the base the base energy shield on the fingerless silk gloves is actually lower than sorcerer's gloves, and the reason why is because you get that implicit modifier. So for me to synthesize fingerless silk gloves would be kind of dumb, because then I would basically be getting a less energy shield base for the implicit and then replacing the implicit. That's not what you want to do. I'll bring this up and let you guys see what I'm talking about. So if you want to synthesize stuff, you know the best way to do it. Okay, so it's not a big difference. I'll pull this up. This is just a list of sorcerer's gloves. So we have the sorcerer's gloves. We have a 95 and a 97. Um, oh wait, no, that's not the. There's the ES. There's the ES. Okay. So oh wait, no, we have six. Is it higher? Wait. Oh, wait, energy shield. All right, yeah. So 47 versus 43. Sorry, those are the requirements. I knew it was higher. Okay, so it's four base energy shield higher on these. So there's no reason to go for this if you plan for the silk gloves, if you plan to use the synthesize them. What I would say you should probably do. So it says that it's random. Um, my initial thought was that maybe you got better rolls if you already had stuff on it, because which this I honestly haven't done enough of these to really know, but I have done bases that have nothing on them, and every single time I've done a base with nothing on it, it does come out with really crappy stuff. I think I saved an example of this. The most recent one was this. Oh, eight intelligence, 6 to 8 intelligence. And I had hardly nothing on it. And this is like something I've kind of seen, is like when I don't have anything on them, they've all been bad. That could just be like completely random luck. Um, but that's been my experience, and this is actually my first time doing a really nice finished item, and I got 3 stats on it, which is the first time I've actually seen that. So I don't know if there's any correlation. The thing that you have to understand is when they were fracturing, when synthesis was originally out, in order to get certain stats, you had to have like a combined certain number of stats in order to reach a specific implicit modifier. Like if you wanted, energy shield tier 1, you had to have so much energy shield on it. Or if you wanted, certain things, they had requirements. And the thing that I don't know, which is something I'm still testing, maybe you guys can let me know if you've done a lot of this synthesizing. Um, I've been kind of hoarding them, so I'm going to be doing more of this stuff. But you used to basically have to hit thresholds, and there were like exact numbers that you had to hit, but they've completely changed it. And the description of it, let me pull another one up and we can look at the description. Now I've got, all right, here's a couple synthesized. Okay, so it says give it random synthesized implicits. So I don't know if it is completely random. I kind of was like maybe there's something more to it, just knowing how the synthesis originally worked. And then originally when I read random, I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna get a bunch of bases and throw them on bases, and see what happens. And my results from that have been lot of really crappy synthesis implicit. So I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit more. I probably won't like. Eventually, I want to have. I'm actually next week going to be starting another build. That's why I'm finishing the Archmage build. I'm going to do like a min max guide for that, and then I'm going to do a min max for the Blade Vortex. So you guys have like your goal to go to on those builds. And I'm going to be starting my next build. Things are going to start picking up a lot more on the content. Because I've gotten into a more comfortable place. I've been saving all this stuff for crafting. So I'll have a lot more content coming out for you guys. If you guys have questions about specific things, like you know, synthesis, this was a question from a friend, so I went ahead and made the video. So if you guys have questions, or if you guys have stuff to share with me that I'm missing, like I do all of my own testing, and the only outside information I get is when people are like, "Hey, you're doing something wrong, or you've missed something." So I appreciate the feedback. I get feedback a lot, and it helps me learn, and then it helps me, generate better content. So if I am missing something, don't be a dick, but nicely let me know. I do appreciate when people do that. It mostly comes from my friends, but there are definitely a lot of followers that give really good, insightful information on like it's usually like just really random stuff that I've completely overlooked. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.